guys, so I got in a new statue to unbox for you guys. It's one of my most anticipated and it's of one of my favorite scenes from Dragon Ball Z is the Infinity Studios Gotenks versus Majin Buu statue. I'm really excited to show you guys this one, so let's get into it. This statue is in 1/6 scale and it's approximately 23.6 inches tall, 13.8 inches wide, and 20.9 inches long. The statue itself cost me $915 USD, but you also have to factor in shipping, which cost me just under $200 to my location in the US. The entire statue shipped in one box. The pieces were placed securely in this large foam insert, but they were split up and housed in two halves to prevent breakages. Nothing came broken or damaged, so I'm impressed with Infinity Studios' packaging on this statue. I picked this statue up on Spec Fiction's site, and I'll link to their site in the description below. This statue is actually still available for purchase on Spec Fiction at the time of this video if you end up liking it or are interested in picking it up. Also, feel free to use my code ANIMECOLLECTIVE for $10 USD off your order. Now onto the pieces and assembly. The base itself is really simple, which I personally love because there's so much going on atop it. It's painted in black with cracks that tie it into the scene. You also have the Dragon Ball Z logo front and center. It is a bit larger than I would have liked, but it makes a statement on display. I will say that I love that they sculpted the logo on the base rather than adding a separately sculpted badge. It feels and looks a lot more premium than most as a result. The landscape of this battle is sculpted atop the base. You have everything from rocky earth to smoke that covers the ground beneath Gotenks. Some of the explosion is sculpted atop the base here as well, but the larger part of the explosion came sculpted separately. Next, we have that larger piece of the explosion. These pillowy looking smoke clouds have been painted in various shades of purple for added depth, and then you have the explosion itself, which is painted in different shades of orange. Buu's lower half is actually sculpted into the explosion. You see his baggy pants here, sculpted with folds in them for definition and shading added for more detail. His Majin belt with the M in its center was separately sculpted and it just lays down on top of his waist and is held in place by his upper body when you put it on. His upper body was sculpted separately as well, and it keys into the center of his waist with a notch that has a magnet in it. He's shirtless and muscular in this form. They did a great job at sculpting all of his muscles. His black armbands have gold lining on them, which is accurate. They painted his fingernails black, and they sculpted his chunky fingers, which are semblances of his old self well too. His body sculpt is amazing, but it's his head sculpt that impresses me the most. Buu isn't an easy character to get right in any form, but they did an incredible job at capturing his likeness. I love the evil expression on his face, which is enhanced by his red beady eyes, the furrow in his brow, and his grimace. He looks as if he is saying this can't be possible, but also I'm screwed, and it really captures this moment well. There's also a notch on his upper shoulder where this separately sculpted explosion piece keys in. This ties in the explosion with Buu even more, so it's a nice addition. And then we have my favorite part of this statue, Gotenks. Gotenks looks spirited and fired up in this pose. The expression on his face is great too. He looks as if he's actually yelling at Majin Buu with his open mouth expression. Mouths are hard to sculpt closed, let alone open like this, so I'm amazed they were able to pull this off as well. The pose Gotenks in is so awesome. He looks as if he is about to burst up from the ground and has this look as if he's been frozen in action. All of the different textures they added to his body sculpt and outfit add a lot of detail too, from his pants to his belt to his vest. I like how they sculpted his muscles also. Some studios overdo it on the muscles from time to time on Dragon Ball Z statues, but they did a great job here. This scene, which shows him performing the Super Ghost Kamikaze Attack, isn't complete without Gotenks' ghosts. The statue came with 4 ghosts, and I smile every time I see them in their expressions. The first one is in the same pose as Gotenks and it keys in next to him. I really like this because it looks as if this one is moving in tandem with him. The other ghost wraps around the explosion and it has more of a determined expression on its face. The third ghost is one of my favorites because he's in this cheeky little come at me kind of pose. And the final ghost keys in behind Buu and it looks as if he is flying up over him, sticking his tongue out in his face. How they were able to maintain so much detail in the ghosts, even though they are cast in clear resin and painted to look transparent, is incredible. The expressions are spot on and they add so much detail to this statue once keyed in. One final thing I want to show you guys is the light up feature on this statue. When plugged in, the explosion on this statue lights up and it has 2 modes, one that pulses and another where the light just stays on. I couldn't be happier that they added this feature because it looks great when lit up. All of the statues in my collection bring me joy when I look at them, but none have made me smile quite as much as this one. It captured this moment in Dragon Ball Z so well, and it really does look like they pulled it straight out of the screen. Every angle of the statue has something going on, much like it would in battle. I will say that you can't see all the ghosts' faces when they are on display, which is slightly a bummer because they are so funny to look at, but still looks good nonetheless, and there's something to marvel at no matter where you are when viewing this statue. It has a really nice footprint, I enjoy the scale, the paintwork is precise and accurate, and the likeness of both Gotenks and Majin Buu is spot on. All in all, I love the look of Infinity Studio's Gotenks vs Majin Buu statue. I'm so happy they made a statue one of my favorite moments from Dragon Ball Z, and I can't wait to pick up more from them in the future. And there you have it, guys. That's my full review of Infinity Studio's Gotenks vs Majin Buu. Did you guys pick this one up, or do you have plans to do so? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.